Hey y'all, we're back in the garden and today we're going to plant garlic. And I have two different types. Well, this I saved from last year. It made this nice bulb and but it did not make individual cloves. And it is still very firm and so I'm just going to plant the whole thing. And then this is a little, they call it a bulbil. It's, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but anyway, it is a teeny tiny little bulb that comes off the side of a large bulb. And I believe that might be elephant garlic, but I can't be sure because I didn't have anything marked and I saved it. And anyway, and then this is organic garlic from the grocery store. And so we're going to plant this. I'm going to separate these out into cloves. And so you just separate them out just like you would if you were cooking them, but you leave all the paper and everything intact. You don't peel it at all. So see if we can get this ready. The mosquitoes are horrible here right now. I don't know why, but they are. And so I'll probably have 6, maybe 8 of the big bulbs, and then however many this gives us. I've got a pot just about ready. We are going to top it up on soil because it has sunk down over the summer. Not even sure what I had planted in here this summer, but anyway, we'll just I have tried to grow several things in here that did not germinate well, so we'll just use this pot, and I'll put some fresh soil. I've got some comfrey compost tea. So I just take the comfrey that's pretty battered from bugs and weather and put it in a pot, fill it up with water, and I use that to water. And so we want to get these off to a good start so that they can develop some nice strong roots before our first freeze. We do expect a frost during November, but I really don't expect a hard freeze. All right, I got some Espoma plant tone, which is just a general fertilizer, and I'm gonna put a generous amount in here. And I'm going to put our soil on top, and then we'll get to planting. Garlic is one of the easiest things to plant and take care of, because basically you plant it in October in most of the zones. I think some people do plant them in September, but that would be much further north than I am. I'm in north central Texas, and October's a great time to plant. I have planted garlic as late as January or February. And, you know, sometimes I get those big balls of garlic that are not cloves. They still eat just fine. They still work just fine. But I didn't get a lot of those this year because I actually did not plant garlic on purpose. I found some in the garden from, gosh, 2 years ago, and maybe 3. I don't even know, but I found some in a pot and in the garden. I don't know what kind they are. They've just been kind of redoing themselves every year. So I just let them go. When some of them I transplanted into a certain area in the garden, and they did great, you know. So and they didn't dry out this while they were in the house this year. So get some of this soil broke up in here. Got a bumble here in the garden. We still have watermelon flowers that he is trying to pollinate for me, and I noticed on one of my watermelon plants just outside of the garden, it's been going crazy. Those runners are probably 6 foot long now, and they've actually put on watermelon babies. And so I don't know that they're gonna make anything, but you know, for fun, I just leave them. They're not hurting anything, and I don't need that area for anything yet. If I decide I want to plant something there, they might have to come out, but right now they're just below the okra, and so as long as I'm getting okra, they can stay. Okay, a little bit more soil here, and I will be ready to plant. I'm going to move the camera over this way so you can actually see in the soil and what I'm doing. I was able to find some Pro Mix on sale recently. They've got it on markdown at Walmart right now, which is a great time to buy. If you're planning on doing pots or you know, refreshing your pots, it just works out great. Okay, we're gonna put our garlic, I'm gonna dump it all out in there, and I'm gonna move you over. Okay, it looks like you can see pretty good. So you see I got all our cloves out here and our bulbs, and once I get this set up, I will be covering it with insect netting, because it doesn't need to be exposed to any bugs. So I hope you can see that good. So now what I'm gonna do, because this soil is so fluffy, is I'm gonna put these 2 to 3 inches down, and that'll get them within about 1 inch of that fertilizer that we just put in. So I'm going around, and that's about a hand's width between them. And these we'll just put all the way around till we run out. And as soon as I'm done planting, I am going to get a marker and mark this pot, because what happens is stuff like this takes a long time to poke through, and then I don't have knowledge of what's in this pot. So okay, break up some of this soil, and then these little ones, same thing. We're gonna go down quite a ways with those as well. Shoo. These mosquitoes are just relentless, and I don't know why we've got such a problem with them, because we haven't had any rain in a while, but they just are terrible. And I'm just going to keep going around, and if something ends up a little bit too close, I'm not really worried about it. I have to plant things pretty close anyway because of planting in pots. Now I'm going to go out to the edge and plant in between those big ones, because I got some of these skinny cloves, and they'll be just fine out there. All of these are very firm, and that's something you want to check when you get your garlic. You know, you don't want to take the paper off, you just want to plant them, but you also need to make sure that they're just really a firm clove, because you don't want them you do not want them just rotting in the ground, you know. And if they're not a firm, super firm clove, they'll just rot when you put them in the ground. And you've probably seen this before, but just in case you haven't, see the flat part on the bottom, that's where the roots are going to come out. And this tip is where the green is going to shoot up. Oops, I already got one there. And I don't remember how long it takes for the green to shoot out, but I think it's about a month. So I don't get in any hurry with it. And get those little bulbs in there. All right, there's a couple more. I knew I had some more of these little bitty ones. And I'm not putting those as deep, maybe an inch. And if they're too close, I will actually move them over. If I ended up planting something right next to each other, it will not hurt their feelings if I move them over as soon as they sprout out. So now this is our fertilizer water, and we're just gonna give this a good soak. They need the soil to settle on them, and this fertilizer water will help them get started. There's a garlic company, Keene Garlic, Keene, out of Wisconsin. So that's it. We're all planted, watered in, and it's really hard for me to plant a pot, and it's gonna sit there with garlic in it until June. I can't use it for anything else, and mosquitoes are trying to get my hands. So it's the only thing that I can plant in there, because garlic is a heavy feeder, as all alliums are, and so they don't like any competition. And that just means don't interplant with a bunch of stuff. After you get your garlic bed ready, be prepared to mulch around the plants as soon as they sprout. And like I said, I'm going to give these guys a month to sprout, and then and keep them watered, moist, not wet. Now during the dormant season, of course, they're not going to be growing as much, and so we'll just periodically check on them. They're not going to dry out daily or weekly even. One pot is not a huge amount of garlic, but I use this in my herb blends, and so I don't really need a lot of garlic. Most of my garlic that I use fresh, I buy fresh. So there you go, how to plant garlic. And we'll be updating. I think I'm gonna go to garden tours every 2 weeks, because it just seems like right now they're not growing as fast as, summer crops. So we'll do garden tours about every 2 weeks. If you haven't seen the video on the quick maturing varieties, it is not too late to plant some of those varieties. And I tell you what and when and how to find, packages at your store that maybe will be a very fast maturing variety of crop that you can plant right now. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. And I appreciate y'all so much for coming along on this journey. What seeds are y'all sowing?